Hey everybody, TG Watkins here with simplertrading.com, and this is your Daily 5. So, as we get into it, we have been seeing some crazy moves in the market. Obviously, we've been down for the last week or so, and then on Monday, we got a push lower, and then we got a reversal. So, this is a screenshot of Monday, the 24th of January, and what I wanted to show is some of the patterns that I use and how I was using the Moxie indicator to trade to figure all this stuff out. So coming into Monday, as price kept getting pushed down, I mean, obviously we could see that this had already gone so far. I mean, if we looked at the daily or the hourly timeframes, we could tell that this thing was really getting oversold and likely to bounce at some point. But look at the Moxie indicator on the 5-minute, and you could see how it kept trying to show that price, that the energy and momentum was actually starting to look like it wanted to come up on that. And so what we could see was that positive divergence. We had price down, but we had the Moxie indicator starting to trend up like that. And that's some signal. It's trying to tell you, even though price is getting pushed down, why is the indicator starting to turn up and tell us that inside internal momentum starting to change directions? It's something to be aware of. And then as far as an actual trade yesterday that we took, we could see that price got over the 5-minute 50, and then it did what I love to see, is testing a moving average. And so it came back down like that to test the moving average, and boom, that was the move to the upside. Now today, since you guys are probably going to be watching this, but yes, we do have price came back down here. This did another one of my patterns. I call it a trampoline move. So yes, price came back down below the 5-minute 50, but you know what? The Moxie indicator was still above zero. So when the Moxie indicator is above zero and price is below the 50, that is a trampoline setup, and it's bullish. It's like trying to push a beach ball underneath water, and it wants to shoot back up. So that is generally what I'm looking for, is to remain our near-term, short-term bullish stance. I think we're super oversold, and we should start seeing price just kind of drift upward. Now, caution, I do think we're going to be going much lower in the future, but I do think that there's going to be a bounce first, and so I'm just trading this bounce, this reversion to the mean. And then the elf shoes here, leg, heel, arch of the foot, ball of the foot, there's the elf toe. So a couple patterns that really worked out nicely for us yesterday, and I think we're going to see them continue into today. Then in conjunction with that, what we were trading with the market moving down last week and into the beginning of this week, I like to trade the UVXY for something like this, because volatility, it's when it works really well. We got a 57% gain out of this thing, and I think about 2 days, maybe 3 days. So what I started seeing was, you could see that we had double bottom there. In fact, maybe even a lower low. But notice that the Moxie indicator went higher. There's that divergence again. That's that same kind of divergence I was talking about with the S&P on the 5-minute. And here we are seeing this on the UVXY hourly. And so then I waited a little bit longer, and we could see right in here, price is really starting to consolidate and actually turn into a squeeze. You can see a squeeze building in through there. And look at this. The other key thing to note using the Moxie indicator is, notice that price just kept going sideways like that. Notice that the Moxie indicator kept going up and up and up and up. So this was some really key important stuff. And in fact, all of this looks exactly like this setup. They did the same thing. So this is why I was taking this trade. We loaded up on it, and then we even added more here. I think it was Thursday, added another position, and it started to work out immediately. And then we had, I think that was Friday, continued to push up. The market closed Friday on its lows. The UVXY closed on its highs. Everything looked good. And so sure enough, the next day, Monday, we got price to jump up like that, and I could tell that that was probably going to be about the end of it. So we took off half here, and we took off half here, and that was a nice, quick 57% gain on that using just stocks. So then some other things, since the market has been melting down, what do you look at? How do you see what's going on? Could you see that Amazon, one of the leaders, that maybe you thought you were hiding out in a safe place? You thought, well, this thing's just been hanging out here. We're solid. We're good. And then the next thing you know, Amazon drops 15 or 20%. How do you make sure that you don't get taken by surprise? Well, for me, again, it's all in the Moxie indicator. Look here on the hourly chart and notice that we have the Moxie price trigger right here. That's telling me that energy and momentum has now gone from positive to negative. And you better be careful, because you know what? That momentum direction has changed. It's shifted. And what you can see here is then this entire time, the Moxie indicator has been below zero. I mean, that's a lot of time for for the indicator to be below zero, telling me that there isn't any hope of positive energy, of price going back up. It's not going to work. The other thing is, here's the cross. Here's the 50 SMA crossing below the 200 SMA. On a daily chart, you ever see that? It's called the death cross. Well, here it is on the hourly chart. And look what it did. The hourly 50 just kept trending down. And so did the hourly 200. It kept trending down. So those are key things to be looking at on a lower time frame to tell you, hey, something's starting. And then even on the daily chart, you can see that the 8 crossed below the 21. You can even see that the Moxie price trigger fired, showing you that the energy has now gone from positive to negative. And then price kept getting rejected by the underside of the 21 EMA. And then when it really broke the weekly 50, that's where it just totally let go. And again, even earlier, as far as some bigger signals, you can see here's the Moxie price trigger. That is when energy started going negative. So this has been negative for a very, very long time. And at least using the Moxie indicator with my moving averages, you can see that this was this was happening and it was developing. All right, so another one. I think several weeks ago, maybe a little over a month, I was also on StockCharts TV, and I think I was about the only one who was actually bearish on the market. And one of the examples that I saw out there was BootBarn. And I noticed that we basically, look at this, on the weekly chart, you can see that price kept going up and up and up in a very nice, orderly fashion. And then what happened? It accelerated. It's basically like a hockey stick. That is your blow off top. That's an exuberance run. I mean, you have a normal behavior and then suddenly it goes parabolic. It's a blow off top. And look what it did. Ran right into the third ATRs on the weekly chart, jumped off the moving averages, and then it double topped and came on back down. So here's the Moxie price trigger telling us not going to work. Here's the Moxie price trigger, and here's the Moxie price trigger, all on the downside. All of this was in addition to just how price was moving, was telling me this is a topping pattern. And so we started seeing a lot of these things all over the place. And so I was bearish on the market, saying, hey, we really need to be careful out there, because I don't think that the long side is going to be working out too well. So BootBarn, it's probably going to catch some temporary support here at the weekly 50 and the daily 200, maybe a little bit of a bounce, but I wouldn't be surprised if later, sometime in the future, that price rolls over and keeps going down like that. So do be aware of what you're trading out there and see if you can take advantage of any of these things. And then this one, WRAP. Not that anybody's probably trading this or even knows about it, but one thing I want to show you, that even though it's a cheap stock and even though it's gone down quite a lot, they can keep going further. And you know what? When you get numbers like this that are small, $4 to $2, that's 50%. I mean, that thing got cut in half. Now, the reason is the CEO is leaving, so whatever. But I just want to show you, even though price has gone down for a long time, it can keep going lower. Do be careful out there. The other thing I want to show you is, since we're kind of in this market cycle with things go down, just look at what stocks can do on the downside. When they finally let go, just look what they do. So I thought this was a good way to just look at the cycles, ebbs and flows of certain stocks. Sure, maybe this one, has some good moves to the upside, but right now we're in, correction territory, and a lot of things are starting to break down. So just look at that and be careful of what's going on out there for you and your positions. All right, so thanks again. That was your Daily 5. And as a reminder, my name is TG Watkins. You guys can come over here and check out a little bit more about me. I got a newsletter that I write twice a week. We got all the socials, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I like to post a lot of pictures on there, keep it fun. And then, if you guys are interested in finding out a little bit more about the program and the service that I offer, come over here to simplertrading.com/stockcharts-TG. And I do live trading. In fact, I have one coming up early next month, early in February. And then I'm in the chat room, so we do interactive Q&A, and we send out real-time text alerts. I send out a lot of text to my subscribers, keeping them apprised of what's going on, what's in my brain, and what's happening out in the market. And then lots of historical stuff that you guys can tune in, and then we track every trade that we take. So thanks again, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your January.
Hey, Grayson Rose here with StockCharts. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, consider giving it a like down below, maybe leave us a comment, and if you're new to the channel, you can subscribe at the link up above. We're gonna bring you daily content from an incredible collection of technical analysts and financial experts.